And there he is. There's the index for today. It is Dope Games. He got in first, hit that button first, and this party is just for him. Welcome on in, all you fabulous, fabulous people. I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. We are going to, start this out with a party. Ooh, right. We know we love it. Get down, get funky. We're all doing the chunky monkey. Go ahead, Dope. You should be leading this party off. You should be dancing for us, showing us how to move, how to groove, how to get down, do that thing. Dramatic drum roll ensues. Exactly, right? So this is the party for Dope Games. He hit that button first. This is his big moment. Yeah, loving it, loving it. But if you are getting here, getting set up, getting ready, we have a fabulous, fabulous evening ready for you fantastic folks. That's right. And we're starting it off right with a little party. Congratulations, Dope Games. You are today's index. Now comes the inevitable, wonderful parade of fantastic shout-outs of all the fantastic and amazing people coming in and saying hi. Zai has yeeted. Katie, welcome in. Blind As, hello. There's a shout out from our fantastic guest for tonight. This is not going to be the first one. We are going to see a couple of these. I got a watch. This is your watch. I love it. Loving it. Loving it. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, do a drum roll. I don't have a drum roll. We have a dramatic. We can get seriously dramatic. Because just on the other side, just a button push away, is today's guests. That's right. You know them. You love them. They are the fantastic Valheiming duo, though you may catch them doing some other shenanigans. Fox and Bulls. These darling, lovely people are just absolutely the bee's knees, no matter what it is that you're doing. And tonight they have been willingly given up some of their time, some of their efforts, some of their energy to come in and sit down and chat with all of us and answer our questions so we can get to the deep lore. We can get to know what is Fox and Bull. And if you don't come away with getting your answers, I'm telling you right now, there are ways that you can still go talk to these fantastic and lovely people, and I'm certain they will continue to answer all of your fantastic questions. Welcome in, Jail. But we'll not continue to tantalize and tease you fine, fantastic folks any further. We will hit the button. We will go right on over to the screen, and we will we'll undeafen ourselves. Get ready, Fox and Bull. Here comes Talk Tuesday. Welcome in, you fantastic folks.
What's going on?
Hey, there we go. Give me 1 second. I noted that we have decided not to turn cameras on, which is fine. We will just have to turn off the screen. That's all.
Yeah, I forgot to move the cameras.
No, you're fine.
Stream PC. My bad, chat.
It is just fine. It is just fine. I was trying to think. I'm like, can I hurry up and at least grab your guys' logo and slap it around somewhere?
If you need a PNG of it, let me know.
If you've got one that you can send me over real quick, that would be lovely. Because then I can just kind of throw it up where your picture should be. How about that?
I could also send you the Fox butt, but I'm gonna behave.
Hey, you want to send the Fox butt? Send the Fox butt. I will put the Fox butt up there.
Oh, wrong.
Because we all know how Fox likes his butts, and it's got to be large. I will make that the entire backdrop of tonight's.
No, there you go. There's one you can put up. Jack can just they could just abuse your chat with the Fox butt.
You know, it's fine. It's fine.
Blondad, you could actually blame us.
You know, we're not blaming anybody. We're not blaming anybody. We're here because we are enjoying.
Just know that I'm not ready for wedgies today.
What if I can manage to pull off a wedgie from here? We definitely. I need to be like doing something different with my life. I mean, seriously, if I'm grabbing that, then I am doing something really fantastic. All right, there we go. There we go. How about that? There we go. Nice and pretty.
Yeah.
We'll get you guys up there. Well, like so Squirrel decided she didn't want to be on camera. I can't blame her. I'm not really on camera myself, though that may be changing coming up in the near future. We'll see. But then, like my last star on here had a camera, so we pulled him up and we stuck him out there. Perfect. Oh, good. The real deer heart's here too. You guys have brought in all. See. So this is kind of the format, right? We've fixed things up. I hope you can see it. We've got your guys' image now. We've got some links where you find folks out there can go and catch up with you guys and all of the antics. I went to looking. You guys have got so many social links. I'm telling you, people, go hit the about section and then go follow all the links there, because I was like, I was vastly running out of room.
You know, I was talking to Shailenar about that the other day. Like, there's just so many social medias that to be on, it's ridiculous.
Let's move this down over here, because I feel like that is getting lost with that. And we'll just do like that real quick. There we go. Sorry, I am like adjusting things on the fly here, because
Do your thing.
Well, I'm still trying to work the format out so that it works well, and trying to keep everything on. So, like from last week to this week, by the way, can you guys hear all the noises? And I'm not sounding crackly? Yes? No?
Yeah, I can hear everything now.
Okay. If it sounds a little funky, let me know. I will reset the sound system. But I figured this way, at least if somebody redeems like one of the sound redeems or some kind of noise maker or whatnot, you guys can at least be aware that it's going on.
Part of the party.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so I was talking. There were just some suggestions made from last week to this week. They're like, yeah, put some information up so you guys get the next version. So we have your logos now. We have ways to get in contact with everybody. But so. And I'm just kind of sitting here on the game screen. Just pause. You're welcome to play a game if you want to play your own game or whatnot. I put this little game up in the background just to give people something to look at while we're talking. That is all. That's all it's there for. So, all right, let's get started with some of the. So we have a fox there, or is it just you, Bull, right now?
Yeah, Fox, you're not coming through. He's here. He's been talking this whole time too.
I'm like, I have not heard. I feel like I'm being rude all of a sudden because I have not heard the guy's whose voice is like probably far smoother than mine ever could hope to be.
Let me go over there and see what he broke. Hold on.
Okay.
Broke something.
Butter voice. Broke something. Oh, well, you know. It wouldn't be a stream without a little bit of technical difficulties. Oh.
There we go. That should sort it out. I was stuck on push to talk still. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm like, well,
That'll
why
do
won't anybody talk to me?
Oh, it's fantastic. Welcome in, Fox, the other half of Fox and Bull. Now we have them all, both of them here. All right, chat. We are rocking and rolling.
Love you too, Shay.
Oh, that's
Steal
right.
your
You
wife.
got to,
Just kidding.
you know, you can try. You can try.
I can try. I probably fail because she absolutely loves and adores you. But let me tell you, that lady's adorable.
Well, what have we said about you stealing other people's spouses?
I do what I want.
Dude,
as long as she's got consent, then I guess it's okay.
ow.
Wasn't ready for that one, were you, Fox?
And then all I can do is just the Professor Oak impression. Oh.
Oh, yeah. No, Wars. I don't think that's a problem that comes up a lot with these two. We happened to we got down and got to visit with these lovely folk in real time during my daughter's wedding, and so it was a good time. Last I heard, Fox finally did get her underwears out of her butt, so you know.
Yeah, I'm still I'm still digging it out of the. Bull's got. I mean, Blondette's got it right. Yeah, I'm still digging it out of my butt crack. Still digging.
Why does everything taste like fabric?
Real Deal Heart says that you are welcome to steal her. Them?
Ooh.
There's a reason why I call her second wife.
All right. Now, we do need to open up with some of like the typical standard questions that get asked around here. So we'll get this show on the road with you lovely, fantastic folks. So I think so that we'll start out with the standard one. All right, I think this is a fairly good one. What got you into streaming? Like, what is the nexus that spurned the creation of the Fox and Bull channel?
Fox, you want me to start? When start?
That's a two-parter.
Yeah.
So
We have all night.
it's a two-parter. So, all right. So what got me into streaming was Bull. Point blank. It was Bull who got me into streaming. I had never even heard of streaming really until we got together and Bull talked about it. And I remember hearing about the concept of streaming and thinking, oh, yeah, no, that's lame. I know, right? So as time went on, Bull had told me that they had streamed before. So I guess I felt kind of bad when I said, oh, no, that's lame. I didn't say that out loud. I was thinking it, but it didn't seem like for me the medium that was for me, right? Because my background was more in theater and in music and in seeing the audience that I'm engaging with when it comes to entertaining. So what I saw, what I thought and what I wound up saying was different, which was, wow, this looks kind of intimidating. So as time went on and Bull started building a stream for or building a stream and building a channel and a platform, you know, it was meant to be more of an income supplement, something that we could do kind of passively. You know, there were practical reasons behind doing it, not just the, oh, it's fun, we get to entertain. So when Bull said, I think you would be, I'm going to do this and I think you would excel at it, I was immediately feeling some hesitation, and I was more than slightly skeptical of my own ability to perform. But if I can't do anything else, I can always perform under duress. No, I'm playing. But it was a novel concept. It had novelty to it. It was a new thing to me, and I wanted to try it, and I wanted to do it with my best friend, who was also my partner. But you know how that goes. Best good homie right here.
There you go.
But when I say it's a two-parter, there's also the technical aspect of it. So now that I'm done waxing philosophical to answer the question, honey.
So when he says two-parter, there's not just a technical. Yeah, there's technical. Could lead to all. Oh my God, blind dad. So
I was going to leave that commentary alone, but that's.
So I actually started streaming actually back when it was Justin TV. And I've been off and on since. So I've been streaming off and on for years. It actually started for me. I was raiding in World of Warcraft and Cataclysm. I was in the top 50 of the U.S. Top U.S. raiding guilds in progression for heroic, and we were within the top 100 in the world, I think. So like I was going hard with a lot of friends. I was also if I wasn't working, I was raiding or I was doing housework. That was my life at the time. And got into streaming with them as a result of, we were on a small server and people kept asking us like, hey, like, what are y'all strats, blah, 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 and asking us. And instead of having 1v1 conversations, we just invite them, hey, if y'all are looking for a healer point of view, here's our shaman, which was me. You want the tank's point of view? Here you go. Here's this tank. And we just did, role point of views. And it went from there, and I enjoyed it. Life got in the way, and I kind of just disconnected for a while. But then when I lost my job because of health issues, I couldn't, I tried to get other jobs. The health conditions really, it's really amazing what certain disabilities will do to you.
Oh yeah.
And how drastically your life changes overnight. And 2-3 months later, we're still racking our brains and about, I'm still in between jobs. About 6 months later, I was like, hey, how do you feel about me streaming? And at that point we moved, and he was like, go for it. If it works, it works. I mean, it's better than you being depressed because, you can't find a job that'll hold you with your disability. And it just went from there. And I was in the World of Warcraft community at the time, which was, man, let me tell you, just unless you got a real good niche, don't start there, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't start there. It divulged from there, and then, later on when we moved once again, I was like, hey, we were having conversations about him with theater and acting, and I was like, there would also sometimes be nights where I'm bantering with him, and he's not on stream, and I'm like, wait, there's something here, and I'm like, no, and he, it was the whole thing with him acting and all that other stuff. And I'm like, you would be really good at this. And sure enough, so far, he's been excellent at this.
The man has been killing it.
So that's how, I know that's a little long, but yeah, it started with World of Warcraft solo, and then our nonsense got in the way.
Well, I mean, but you got to start somewhere. Everybody starts somewhere, right? So that's the thing, right? So this is the origin story of Fox and Bull, and you'd be surprised how many times people are like, why did they become the thing that they are? Why did they do the things that they did? How did they become who they are? So origin stories bother them, but damn them all. Everybody loves a good origin story. So don't knock it. Now we do take the occasional questions from chat. So if I don't know if you guys are watching the channel, but you are welcome to answer what questions you want. Don't answer the questions you don't want.
Oh yeah, and
I'm just making an ugly mess here. But okay, so origin stories aside, Now, first off, huge props to you and your community for that massive kickoff for a charitable event you guys just recently did. I know you're still floating on a bit of the highs from that. That was a good time.
Ooh.
I know that went crazy.
I'm still in a state of, I don't know. I'm somewhere between validation and disbelief. Validation that I knew that that we had fostered a good enough, and not just good enough, but fantastic enough community to come together and act. It was like you might have heard me say this before, acting in solidarity to affect charity. All right, so and I'll discuss the distinction that I make in that later on if somebody wants to know, but just seeing everybody come out like that was very heartening. So it's more than just a high. And also disbelief, because it's like, holy shit, we hit the first goal, which was very modest, like within 40 minutes of airing.
That and it's like we've done anybody who's familiar with our channel before, we did like what we call mutual aid Mondays. Like when we decided kind of the theme, and we started finding and spreading out to other communities and figuring out other games that we liked playing on stream, and then later on discovered Valheim, because we moved from Warcraft to Ark, and then that's how we found Valheim as a streaming community. Anyway, we were playing it well before we were on stream. Ajax, please, not now, horny child. My cat is in heat, even though she's been spayed. That's another story.
She's been spayed twice.
Yeah, that's another story. Yeah, there is an actual story behind that. It is chaotic. But before we found it, so we were like, we want to be able to use our platform to benefit others, right? Like community is a big thing. One of the things people don't like where the world is going. They don't like how awful it can be. And being from New Orleans, I understand I understood from a young age very quickly how much of a difference a community can make. Community is how New Orleans remotely survived, and how people continue to survive. Mutual aid is like, it's make or break. It was make or break for us. So like I wanted to incorporate not just hey, share like fun stuff about our city and everything, but in our culture, but and you can't do that without sharing that mutual aid aspect. So we had mutual aid Mondays for a while, and that we discovered, okay, streaming platform, that's not as effective. We were using it not just for the financial aspect, but to spread awareness of the different local organizations, for people to be able to go, oh, I could support this at a time later on and whatever. But now we've gone from that to, oh, we're going to do like several big charities. And then when other ones are in need in between during emergency situations, we'll do stuff then. But, so that's kind of how it went from that. So we didn't always have like big donations and big grand gestures or anything. It was always like, and those were still heartfelt to me. But this past charity stream, it wasn't just small, like it was literally triple what we expected. I know a lot of people are financially struggling, and Fox and I, like that, we went into that mindset, like people are financially struggling. It's the holidays. We get it. Let's just do the 500. And then to people to go to $2,000 was just mind boggling. And to do it, and for people to be like, I've actually got a TikTok clip of it, where people were like, nah, you're going to set an appropriate, once we hit the 500 point, they were like, you're going to set an appropriate goal now. We want to see 1,000.
That was quite literally the word.
Yeah, and it's like the community to set that standard. Like, and I'm really proud of our community, the kindness. And then, I know we can sometimes be a little more controversial sometimes than in conversations than other communities maybe. At least in the Valheim realm, but at the same time, like, I'm not stopping that first off. Because sometimes you got to talk about the bad with the good.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like you can't raise money for kids and that are sick without talking about why they need that money, you know.
Mhm.
It's still messing with us, and that's why we were like, well, you know what, we're gonna turn this into a streamathon. And our stream team leader, Crypto Wrench, he is just like, nah, y'all, let's do it. Let's, you know, and he's pitching in for it too. And I was just like, I knew when we joined that stream team, this was gonna be great, but you know, to see it spread like this is really good, and it's been really great for our mental health. It's been a lot of work, it's been draining, but God, it's so rewarding. It's more rewarding than any actual job I've ever had.
One of the best jobs I ever had.
Yeah.
The
All
to answer a question from Blondad here, how do we go about deciding what charity we wish to shoot for? We do that based off of
A couple of factors,
yeah,
actually.
several factors. I'd say the big factor that we go into is the not only the reputability of the charity, but how effective they've been in the past. You know, you don't want to put your eggs in the wrong basket, let alone one. The other factor is actually the time of year too,
Yeah.
because like say for the warmer months, you know, summer going into spring, you know, that's when a lot of the
Playing, babe.
Yeah.
A clip is
It's just a
playing.
clip.
because like part of me, like, it's instinctive, like, okay, when you got a clip going, don't talk over it.
Well, but yeah,
But-
that's the reason why I
things.
went through the trouble to make certain you guys could hear what's going on in stream. If you wanted to take a breath at that point, let the clip play, then you could, or you can continue to talk
Sweet.
over it. It just makes it easier if you know what's going on versus, you know.
'Kay.
Like, well, why is
Poor
nobody talking?
father.
The other part, well, speaking to Imagine Waterworks, okay, well, a lot of work that folks do with protecting wetlands, you know, water protectors, things like that, a lot of that really kicks off around the warmer months. So we want to highlight them as well.
People are less inclined to, like, speaking of Imagine Waterworks, because that's an indigenous Cajun Creole run local organization, and that was what attracted us initially. And then we saw their work and that they've been running since, I think it was 2012. So they've been running
Yeah.
for a little bit. And we saw their groundwork. So like right now, sure, they're taking money for hurricanes, but right now their focus is Plaquemines Parish, because we had that saltwater wedge and it busted a bunch of the pipes in Plaquemines Parish, so people don't have clean water. But that's not as attractive. As terrible as that sounds, that's not as attractive to the collective audience. Not just like our community, for the most part, would probably, but it doesn't resonate this time of year. There's a theme, right? And I think most streamers understand that concept. I don't know if viewers do, but you know, it's kind of like you're not going to try. It's like trying to sell floaties during the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So that's like that. We factor that. We factor their reputability. Like there was an organization we opted out of here. Even though we loved what they were doing and the work they were doing, we were really concerned with one of their board members. Had a lot of controversy, and we're talking like extreme stuff that I would actually worry about legalities later on. So we try to look into that. Another one that we used to adore was the Trevor Project. Up until this past year, they had problems with their union. So we chose Point of Pride because they don't have problems with being anti-union, and they treat their workers well. And, you know, so we look into a lot of that stuff before we really land on a that, or we take, you know, we also take input from the community.
I think a big fact. I wouldn't say that's like the biggest factor, but it's definitely something where when we get the input from the community, and I hope this also helps any audience members if they want to bring something up, we're going to take we're going to take the same fine-tooth comb and give that due scrutiny to whomever they propose.
Yeah.
And you have to. I mean, there's nothing more heartbreaking. Look at it in terms of the story that's told. You know, like if somebody wrote a book about your life, do you want the story that's told of it to be, yeah, and they got behind a lot of bum charities that were anti-worker and really weren't worth the ground that they stood on? No, we don't want that. We don't want that to invade the narrative.
Yeah, so
Now-
we try to make sure we pick a. We try to pick a TLDR. We try to pick a charity that is in line with our community. That's the simplest way to put it.
That's a way that makes absolute positive sense. There is a question that is dying to know by the real Deerheart Fox Bull.
Oh.
Who's your favorite? Deerheart or Blind Dad Does?
My favorite is your pets. Those are my favorite. What? Wait, what? I'm sorry. I don't pick favorites when it comes to people. I pick favorites when it comes to like animals and stuff like that. Like
That's fair. That's fair.
like the running joke is like, who's your favorite cat and why is it Sully?
Oh my god. Oh no, we're not having that. Nope, I'm not. Nope, I'm not falling for that trap. I got bit last time.
That is an exasperate. You literally got bit last time, yeah, by Ajax, who's right
Ajax
behind you.
literally bit me. Yeah, she's behind my head right now, so we're not doing that. See, I'm being set up.
Oh God, she's staring daggers at me now.
So who's my favorite? See, if I'm looking for somebody to enable my nonsense, it's definitely gonna be Blind Dad. Deerheart will absolutely enable my nonsense, but Blind Dad goes like full tilt, right? But if I'm looking for somebody just to have my back and be like my superhero, like bestie, definitely Deerheart. So, you know, I'll pick favorites.
There you go.
Everybody's got talents. I'm gonna highlight everybody's talents.
Okay. So, all right. So we've covered charities, which is really fantastic. By the way, I love all the charity work that you guys do. It is very inspiring. So,
Hey,
I want to say
glad
keep
that-
it
I'm
up.
glad we can do that for you.
Say keep that up. Don't stop. Now that aside, next burning question everybody's dying to know: how did Fox and Bull become Fox and Bull? Like, what's the epic love story? Give us the whole Titanic scene, blubbering tears, watching Fox sink below the waves.
Yeah, I have enough compassion. We both would have been on that door, so take that.
And besides,
Rose.
I love the water and I swim real good. How I Met Your Mother? Okay.
Just make sure to make room.
Well, okay. So we met.
I always love
Wait,
these stories because these are never the stories that you expect them to be. Like you're expecting, especially with anybody who watches your stream regularly, and me and Shale, me and you guys in real life. The way you two behave, it kind of feels like one of these like epic love story moments, but it's probably not. It's probably something even more tame than that. It might be epic, and I'm just downplaying it. And if so, I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
It's definitely a little. There's definitely ridiculous. Honestly, when I look back on it, how we met is honestly, it's kind of poetic because it's kind of how our relationship has gone.
Mm-hmm. We actually met at karaoke night at a local bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry kids. I thought it was gonna be an epic sorry.
But it was entertaining. he was out with some friends, and it wasn't his normal go-to, but this particular bar was a go-to for me at the time. Yes, we were heavily we were drinking we were at that point in our lives, we were drinking like every weekend.
Oh fuck yes.
I will admit I was I talked about this on our stream. You know, I was bordering. I would actually argue I was technically an alcoholic at the time. I was like those early days alcoholism thing in my family. But it wasn't. It was in those days where it's still kind of fun and whatever. And I just remember seeing him across the bar looking at me and just thinking, why is this guy staring at me? I've never seen it. Was on a Friday night. The karaoke DJ, we were, you know, I knew him, but, you know, I knew the guy, and we were familiar with the faces, and we were used to some different folks coming in. It was a lot of, to give context, in this little hole in the wall bar. The hole in the wall bar in a predominantly like white in a neighborhood, middle low income in this particular spot. A lot of the locals from this area, it's like everybody's been there at some point. If you drink, and it's very much like, it's got a redneck vibe to it.
I'm just sitting here like, dude, just say it.
That's the most uniform way I could say it that anybody in any country will understand. For the most part, people are friendly in there, but like, it's for the most part, especially on Friday nights. The bartenders at the time were wild, so that's the setting, right? It's good time. It's people mostly our age. There's a couple of people older, you know, and I'm just remember looking and I'm like, who is this guy? I've never seen his face. I've actually only seen like 2 of his friends before. Who is this guy?
Meanwhile, I'm looking at her. I'm like, oh, hey. But then I'm like, oh, no. Because I'm getting this look of, the fuck are you looking at? Like that fucking look. And, you know, I mean, I ain't got no damn good sense. So I was like, oh, now I really got to talk to you. But then I kind of second guessed myself, and I found myself talking to her friends. And as I'm talking to her friends, that was fucking perfect.
That was so good. I mean, there's truth there. Yeah,
and there was a moment.
Sorry.
Bull says I was smooth. I was not smooth.
it was smoother than he gives credit. Looking back, it was more cheesy, but it was still smooth. I'll give him that. It was definitely cheesy. We were definitely, so we chatted, and then next thing you know, by this time, it's like, I think it was like an hour, 2 hours. Like we were out there hanging out, you know, occasionally talking with some other people. And then like later on, next thing you know, keep in mind, I've already been drinking at this point. I'm already buzzed. By this point in our about an hour or two later in, and I was drinking, like I said, drinking heavy, Jack and Coke, and the Coke was for color. So I go in, and next thing I'm like, hey, let's go outside. And at this point, I was getting kind of overwhelmed with all the sounds and stuff. So I genuinely wanted to go outside and talk more. But then when we got outside, I was like, nah, I'm kissing this bitch.
Yeah. And I'm like in complete disbelief here, because I'm like, hey, yo. And then I was also like, hey, yo, hold on a second. You like me?
Then the rest of the night was definitely interesting. We ended up a little bit later on. We go back inside, we're hanging out, whatever. We end up going, I was like, let's, you know, you thinking, let's get out of here. No. It's, hey, let's get out of here and go get something to eat. We end up at a diner, one of the local diners, Dot's Diner. It's over by, this particular one was over by the airport. So a little bit of a drive, but I was like, hey, you're going to have to drive. I've been drinking very heavily tonight. So I let this this was, do not do this, y'all. I was very, very lucky that it was this gentleman and not somebody else. Because I was like, here's my keys, drive my car. So
I mean, mind you, I'm in complete fucking disbelief here because I'm like, I'm of three minds. One mind says, fucker, did you just give me your damn keys? And the other mind is of, oh fuck, I'm fucking drunk too, lady. What are you asking me for? And the third brain was, man, I sure am hungry. And the third brain, the stomach brain, beat out all the other brains. And there we go. Off we go to Dot's Diner, which is a local diner. Hence the name.
Right, or father, the third brain.
Gets you
So we get to
every time.
Dots. It always get. Look, I'm a cis woman, but let me tell you something. I occasionally have the third brain function, at least psychologically. Okay, I get it. Sometimes you can't resist. That urge just kicks in, man. And let me just say that urge was poking at me that night, and I'm like, no. But I was too gone, and we know this because we get the fucking Dots. We sit down, we start to order, and it's my friends and I used to hang out there. Late at night, we'd get coffee, get some pancakes, and just hang out. So this waitress I knew, and she's looking at me, she goes, Ash, are you okay? You don't look so good. And I was like, I'm gonna be okay. I end up in the bathroom. I'm vomiting, almost projectile vomiting. I go back and I sit down back on the bench, and I'm just like, he's looking at me like.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, while you were in there, I was kind of like getting like, not grilled, but like, I guess you could say interviewed, if you will, by that waitress. And apparently I passed the smell check.
This is a class. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's classic to then later on say, look, I'm too drunk to go back to the bar. Let's go lay. My mom lived like not even 2 miles down the road. So we end up at my mom's place. I still, I had a key. My mom didn't give a shit. She's one of those, if you're in trouble, from drinking, just call me. I'm not judging. So I'll definitely give my mom. So it didn't phase her. She was a little weirded out that there's some stranger on the couch, but, we ended up going to my mom's up the road, and I was like, look, I can tell you where to go. I'm just too drunk to make it home myself all the way on the other side of the river. So we ended up passed out at my mom's couch cuddling. Is that yeah, that's it literally is. Majority of moms here down here, that's how they are.
How they roll.
That's it, and it's funny because that's kind of the it's not super crazy chaotic, but this is kind of the theme of our relationship. We end up in situations where we didn't expect, and it's always a good laugh later.
Oh, I'm
Is
sure.
there anything
we'll
wrong
laugh
with
about
that?
this later.
No, not at all. And honestly, I never expected my life to go like this, but I'm not complaining.
And I'm sure as hell not, because this has to be one of the most challenging but also most rewarding relationships I've ever been in. It's a good challenge, the kind of challenge that keeps you honest, that keeps you wanting to improve and do it and do right by yourself.
It's hard, but it's that kind of good hard.
Exactly.
Sorry, I told y'all I have the third brain.
Third brain's the
Runrig,
stomach brain.
welcome in. Yes, so for those of you just showing up and just arriving, we are doing our Talk Tuesdays, and we have our very special guest. We have our very special guest, Fox and Bull, here joining us in. If you don't know anything about them, I'm telling you, look on their screen. There should be socials all over the place there. And if you aren't following them, my God, what have you been doing with your life? We say this about everybody that comes through here, but I mean, seriously, like there's so many fantastic people out there. It's important to get out and say hi and meet them. And you two, like I said, myself and Shell had the absolute pleasure to sit down and have a very long conversation with you and Fox. I think we started out at a breakfast nook, and then we went drinking thereafter. And many legends were born that day.
Oh,
That
facts.
was- honestly, that genuinely was one of my favorite days, especially for this year. It was a great experience hanging out with y'all. I was telling Fox, we were just talking about this I think 2 days ago. I was like, no, 10 out of 10 would absolutely like. Y'all would think that we're a bunch of we're not a bunch of party animals anymore. As a matter of fact, we have alcohol sitting in our fridge that has been sitting in there all year, untouched. we are
Yeah.
homebodies, and we reflect that when we go out. But let me tell you, we're still gonna try and entertain you.
Oh fuck yeah. We don't. I'm one of those folks. It's like I'm at a point in my life where it's like I don't have to have a few drinks in me to have a good time, because I'm gonna be unhinged and uninhibited the second I walk through the door. Like I defy you to tell me to take off my pants at a house party. Because I'll fucking do it. Don't all y'all gang up on me and think you're peer pressuring me, because these pants are coming off. No. It's on you for suggesting it. Own this and enjoy the view.
And look, if I'm dancing with the lamp, mind your business, okay? I'm having a good time. This is my new friend Fred. He likes long walks on the river, and he likes cups of coffee at between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11. You know, he's a chill guy. Leave my lamp friend alone. I love lamp.
Honey, dancing with the lamp. How gauche.
It's so last season. I mean, really, you got to make certain you get out there with the headdress every now and again.
It's petty vandalism this year, silly.
Fantastic. Oh, and Shale had to make a clip.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Hang on. We'll see what this clip is momentarily, because I have been working on this.
I warned you.
That's this. I've already asked, but how did you decide with Fox? Are you asking Orfather how they came up with the names Fox and Bull?
Oh,
Because we actually didn't
that's
explain that
easy.
one.
yeah, that one's an easy
Yeah.
one. For at least for me, it's an easy one. So you know what? Why don't I just keep this simple? So my name to you, dear viewer, is Ray Fox. That's my name. It sounds like a pen name, and there's a mote of truth in that, because I also use it as a byline when I write things. And that's how we got the Fox in Fox and Bull, because I'm Ray Fox.
The bull was a little different. So I mentioned I started streaming back in my Warcraft days earlier on, back when it was Justin TV. When I started playing, pretty much every game I play a bull / Tauren type character. When I first played Warcraft, I was playing a Tauren. Then later on, when I shockingly was not playing a Tauren, I was still kind of, playing around with the whole bull theme. But I was running around with, on stream with the name Blue Dot. That derived from the fact that I was in a guild where there was 2 people named Ash. One was a druid and one was a shaman. And to differentiate us, especially middle of raid, they would call me Blue Dot and then her Orange Dot, which also had derived other nicknames in our community. But so I was rolling with that theme, and that's how we got a Blue Bull theme. But, Fox and Blue Dot didn't really roll off the tongue as well. It seemed too long. So I just looked at the character and I was like, and he was like, well, you kind of are a Taurus. So like maybe something more to that. And I was like, well, Fox and Taurus doesn't work. And then we just kind of looked and we're like, Fox and Bull. And like the way it's just set, it was like that. Yeah. It took a while though for us to come up with the name. That conversation was that conversation happened like that. It was literally like that. But it took a while to get to that conversation. I don't know why. Yeah, our third brains are connected.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell, just to give a little another whatever you want to call it, just listen. It's I'm a lot more, even though we both show our faces, I'm way more a private person even now that I'm outside of my old job. I'm just always have been. I very rarely share my government name or my birth certificate name because that name doesn't really mean shit to me. But I did have one person like really actually like press me on it. Like, no, I want to know your full name. And I'm like, oh, really? My full name? Yeah, your full fucking name. I'm like, okay, well, fine. Reinaldo Ignacio Agosto de Simeón León Fox. A sus órdenes.
I love the fact that you do the same thing that I do with my own name. So I would not be upset by that.
But I add a little. But I had to add the a sus órdenes at the end because I'm at their service or disservice.
Disservice, yeah. That's fantastic.
Shay. Okay, your turn.
Well, she does that because it. All right, so everybody knows. Everybody calls me Nori. Been calling me that for a very long time, and that is because I have a good traditional name, as tradition dictates, right? So mi nombre es Roberto Eduardo Juan Jose Carlarios Marquez Sanchez. So I get the. I totally understand the. No. That name's good enough for you. You don't need to know the whole thing. It's fine. I promise.
It's like, no. We'll just stay right here.
We stand. We.
Nori, how is it you always have the best clips from everybody every time they pop in?
That
I've
they've just got fantastic timing.
Just dumb luck. Okay, so Orfather. So pro tip, right? I don't go by my name. In fact, I avoid using my name in public, even to people in public. Like, I prefer being called Nori. Like, don't reach out to me by my given name, because 9 times out of 10 I won't respond to it. The big reason behind that is because most people where I live at take the end of my first name, Roberto, and take that very last letter and turn it to an A. Yep.
How?
I don't understand how, but oh my god.
Yep. So
You know,
I for the longest time I went by a name. I went by Bobby. Is what most people would call me. And then they started finding derogatory names for that, and so I'm like, no, don't call me by that name. I don't like it. And yeah, so Shale was the one who actually first started calling me Nori in real life. And that kind of stuck, and I'm like, I like that. I'm good with that. We're staying with that. And so I now introduce Nori. Yeah, and most everybody calls me Nori now.
And it kind of had me messed up because I remember when Bull had mentioned you, and I heard Nori, and I'm like, Noriega? Like that was my first thought. No, but, I mean, clearly not. But I mean, and I mean, I mean, like, because I've only ever met like. So I assume that you were either Colombian or Venezuelan because I've only ever met Colombians or Venezuelans with the surname
right.
Noriega. So I've already got this vision of you in my head. So when we met in person, I was like, oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, homeboy's not Colombian.
Like, wait a minute, that threw me for a loop. Hold up.
Oh, I have stories of working next to a lot of different Latino people, and they always look at me shocked. They're like, "Wait, you're a Sanchez?" Yes, I am.
And I don't know why they get surprised by that when Cristina exists. Like, I remember watching her on Univision when I was a kid, sick, watching this talk show. And there she was.
Oh, see. Yes, us Puerto Ricans. But there you go. All right, so Bull's name is very easy. Hers is derived from being Bull. I just figured it was because she was stubborn. I'll be honest with you.
That too.
That is definitely a factor because that was part of that conversation, like the longer end of the conversation when we started setting in and I started coming up with the ways to do like our logo and stuff. And I was like, it was like, well, it's fitting because, well, and he's always making that joke. Matter of fact, people who are familiar with Morning Darkness, she and I actually share a birthday. We obviously not the same year, but we same day. And she was like, and later on when he discovered this, he goes, "That's why y'all get along, because you're both stubborn." And I'm like, yeah, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even say that as a joke though, because it's like, so am I. Like, I'm pretty damn hard-headed too, but I'm the different kind of hard-headed. I'm like, I'll agree to it and then just not do it.
Yeah, don't. He very much does that. He's a different stubborn.
Está bien. Esto no problema.
Shilnar, you know what? Being from here, unless you're part of a very particular demographic, no.
Yeah.
A lot of us actually grew up not even having access to any Spanish-speaking channels. So it actually makes sense. But at the same time, no. It's like, yeah, have you never heard of have you never heard people? But then again, especially since Katrina, we've had such a large demographic of people from both South and Central America coming along. So it's like, really, like, how have you not heard of people outside of yourself? Come on.
Oh yeah. And it's like, I mean, it's even to the extent where it's like a lot of folks are, sooner or later you're going to run into somebody around the city after Katrina who either speaks it or understands it when they hear it or something like that. A lot of people learn Spanish the same way I did. The old the
television
method. That
Yeah.
too.
A lot of my Spanish is legitimately I learned watching television as a kid because my father refused to teach me.
What a butt.
The hell.
I can relate.
Well,
'cause-
okay, so my father honestly hated speaking the language. I think my father hated being Puerto Rican. So it's a thing.
Yeah,
I'm familiar.
there was people.
And Sandy,
We have that
we're
about
going to
Cajun
put
folk.
you in the hot seat eventually as well. You and the rest of the regime girls. So, sit back there and laugh all you want.
Oh God, a troll! Oh, I'm playing Volheim in the other window, and I just turned around. There's a troll.
Apparently,
while picking blueberries.
apparently you can drive with the car to the U.S., or at least that's what a waitress once asked me in a restaurant in the U.S. Wow. Okay, wow.
Nice. Wow.
I've had you know, and I've had moments like that. Jeez.
Oh.
So I'm with you, Sandy. Solidarity.
Estás bien.
Solidaridad.
Sounds a little racist. Okay. Now, racist is growing up as a kid and being called a girl every time somebody says your name. That's just not even attempting to. I'm okay if you want to slaughter my name. I'm okay with you slaughtering my name, but at least pronounce
The
every
original.
vowel. It's not like an O has a different meaning just because it's Spanish. It's still an O. It still
Right, it's
sounds like an O.
Yeah. So I gotta give a pro tip is don't go in the Black Forest in the middle of the night.
Oh, in Valheim?
Yeah.
Oh, I could have told you
Oh.
that. In fact, I have told you that like a bajillion times. I've told you
I
that.
know you haven't.
Yeah, I
You've never
have.
told me that ever in the ever. You of all people.
First of
never
all,
told
take
me.
the kerosene out of that lamp. I did indeed tell you that. Daggone it. Now look
What are
at you.
talking about? You've never
Smushed
told
up
me.
by a bunch of Grey Dwarves.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never even played this game with you.
You know what? I don't know how in the hell you can have this conversation and corpse grind.
Simple. I am just that good. Oh, ironically, I just died.
See, what I tell you honestly, Fox, what I would say is you probably should not go into the Black Forest in the middle of a Talk Tuesday.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, no, you could have just hung out in the meadows with the rest of us losers. I am soft.
Get down,
I
get
can't go.
funky. But okay, so next typical question that we usually get asked around here, well, of all the games that you guys have played over the years, whether you streamed it or not, okay, what has been your favorite game?
Oh. Favorite game of all time.
I think I'm gonna go with Valheim.
That's your favorite game of all time?
I think I'm gonna have to go with that. Like I have several games that are my favorites, including Valheim. But I think of all time, yeah. I think so.
I think for me, my favorite game of all time would definitely be. Well, actually, I've got a couple of games that are on my top 5.
Or Father.
Tenchu, Stealth Assassins, the
Oh, I
sneaky
know the game you're talking
ninja
about.
game.
Yes. Oh, it came out on PS1 back in early 2001.
I love the whole series.
See,
Except
and
Zed.
that is such a polarizing game too, because some people really hated it because of the controls in that.
But those are the same people that are like, oh my God, check out the new insert Souls-like game here. And it's like, buddy, From Software made that one too. That game is the reason why you have your Dark Souls.
Well, I'm just saying
Right?
that choice of a game tends to be a little polarizing for some people.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's hard to so I usually say, well, you got to pick a category, genre, because I grew up with the start of video gaming, right? Oh, here we go. We'll break from this. Or Father says, what do you all do? Any hobbies, jobs, crimes?
Well, I can't tell you my
Yes.
crimes, because I don't know. That sounds like a cop question.
Yeah.
Currently,
not your day off,
Bull's
sir.
latest hobby is removing her underwear from her butt cheeks.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely, I'm still working on that. For me, for hobbies, if I'm not I look, I'm these days I'm not as interesting as I would like to be. Okay, yeah, we'll have to rerun through that explanation. So Fox and I got to have a delightful afternoon, and I mean that sincerely. We had a delightful afternoon, with Shay and Nori, and we were walking up the levee, and at one point it gets very steep, and I was being stubborn. And
She was struggling up it.
around, I decided I was struggling up, and Nori saved me from myself and grabbed my belt loop and helped yank me up, but in turn gave me a wedgie, and now it's the wedgie heard around the world.
Or at least all through New Orleans, anyways.
Worth it. But so genuine hobbies when I'm actually able to indulge. I do some crafting. I actually used to do this on stream. I did custom tumblers, and I would do glitter paintings. So I would, and matter of fact, if you're ever on our stream and you see it in the background, the big fleur-de-lis in our background, that's when I put epoxy on it. You'll see that it's got glitter, but I do glitter art. Because at one point I actually worked for a glitter company, as wild as it is. And we both like to lift. We like to get strong. I'm long term. I would like to actually get into competing as a power lifter. So that's a little bit of a hobby. That and being terrorized by cats. Me and KFC.
For me, hobbies, jobs, and crimes. Well, my certified professional background is in information technology, with a focus on network administration. But most of my work has been as a sysadmin, and I enjoy being a sysadmin the most. Apart from that, hobbies, those include cooking. I also enjoy exercising. Crochet. I like crochet a lot. And I do mess with music a little bit, or at least I did. For a while I didn't want to touch it, but I'm pretty sure after this past semester, I'm just gonna have to start fucking with music again because I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, we're both into music. He's more into like solo, small groups. From high school, I was very much into the bigger groups like marching, because part of the culture in New Orleans. But we're both drummers, both percussionists. So that's a little bit, but we haven't touched that in so long. It's hard to call it a hobby these days.
Mm-hmm.
Mess with music. I'll mess with your music.
More like music messes with me.
Yeah.
It is a thing. Arion.
Fox, you should look into voice acting. I get that. Oh my god! I think at least every time, or Father, you know what? Every time I get a new chatter in our stream, I usually count down to myself how long it's going to take before somebody brings that up. Every time I do a reading stream, which I do every Friday, we save those because that goes towards my
shameless
demo.
Plug, shameless plug.
I will do some editing, because for those who don't know, I'm the one who does like a lot of the background stuff, because Fox works and he's going to school. I do a lot of the work behind the scenes for our stream stuff. So I'm working on slowly the whole redoing stuff on our YouTube. So his work on there will be back up. But yeah, that's a thing. And voice acting is a potential in his future. A lot of people keep requesting it, and it's actually because of that why he started doing the reading streams. People are like, hey, got a nice voice there.
I heard tell, even talking about nice voice, I heard tell that this particular man rode a very long high when he was given a very unique compliment. I'm trying to carefully phrase this.
Oh, are you talking about
From
the time
a
that,
female admirer. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. They totally fucking fat to my voice. I'm not even going to be delicate in saying that. That's literally what they told me they did, and I'm like, oh my god. I mean, first I was like, oh my god, really? And then I thought about it some more. I'm like, oh my god, really?
Yeah, that happened. So, between that and then how many people were all like excited over his book reading streams, it was like, look, y'all not knocking his ego down anytime soon on this. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, they can try, but I've been going through lots of therapy for like years and years, so my self-confidence is not going back down any further. I don't know. I don't think. I've got coping mechanisms now, so do your worst.
You don't think anybody wants to do their worst. Just
Depends on the deed, I suppose.
Only if you do it dirt cheap.
Oh, sorry, can't help you on that end.
I mean, I did my worst by dying to a troll over here, so does that count?
You know, I'm just gonna say this. Well, you did it to yourself.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, technically, I didn't do it to myself. Technically, the troll did it to me, but that's
Nope,
Sure,
nope.
no.
You definitely did it to yourself.
Accountability
decided
time,
to-
honey.
You decided to go out into the Black Forest in the middle of a Talk Tuesday. Shame, shame, shame.
Hey, listen. I wanted berries. Yeah, you think I would have just played Palea like I do in therapy. I sit there and
Oh,
because
good.
ADHD brain go burr, I'll sit there and play Palea because I can't die in the game and it's easy for me to stop and go as I need to, which is always interesting. And let me tell you, and including my to at least sharing my stories of nonsense from our streams and therapy has been quite revealing of how scrambled but also how functional my brain can be. Like, pro tip out there, if you're in therapy, try to incorporate and share your experiences on stream, because you never know what you might discover about yourself, because people forget streaming is still socializing just because you're not in person.
I've actually never heard of Arion, by the way, but
Sounds familiar.
it does sound familiar. If you've mentioned it to us before, well, now I gotta check it out.
Well, to be fair, Runrig came and dropped a link in our Discord. He's like, you gotta go check this out. So I have been, I will say I have been listening to a good number of their music as of.
I mean, I'm no
That
better.
particular
I've been proselytizing Polyphia.
That's probably why I've heard of Arion. I need to go. I'll look at it after later on tonight. I'll go check it out because yeah, I've probably heard about it from at the very least Blind Dad. Blind Dad is a plethora of knowledge on, well, quite a few topics, but I mean,
Ad. Poor Blind Dad. Who was I at? Oh, we were over in G Frankie stream, and Blind Dad's like, I got an ad. I'm like, nah, nobody gives Blind Dad the ad. And I gave him a sub so he could be a full participant in G Frankie's 2-year, I think it was her 2-year stream anniversary.
yeah,
Sounds right. It's good fun.
with
Good
the
fun.
that was definitely good fun.
Ooh.
Ironically.
Aha. An anonymous is just gifted Blind Dad. Or Father wants to know who made your art. I think most of their art is done by the Fabulous Bull. Or Father?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where to? Oh, yeah, I do the art. I'm getting back into digital art. Well, I'm getting back into drawing, but so this is where I've always drawn to some degree, And I was really developed my skill in middle school and going into high school, but then I dropped it because I deal with the frustration of I get stuck on that whole erasing and then redrawing, erasing, redrawing, and it turns into a disaster, and it becomes overwhelming for me. And then there's other processes of drawing on paper versus digital art that just doesn't it was awful. It made the process really awful for me. So I got into digital drawing. And also because I wanted to be able to do I wanted to be able to give back to our community. So for our community, I do because I don't have like, oh my god, fantastic art skills. And I'm not saying I have terrible skills, but obviously I've got something going for me. And you know, because it's not like I don't see my art as necessarily selling worthy. For the most part, I do free art. I will do temporary art for people to have at least temporary emotes when y'all get emotes. So I want to be able to give something back to our community because of the support they show us. And I want to be able to do it on the fly instead of having to spend money that we really don't have to spend on emotes a lot. Like we get a lot of our art these days, like our really fancier art from Kaguya-sama and Lily Yendesu. They do some of our fancier emotes, like our raid emote, our wiffle bat emote.
Especially Lillian. Lillian does a fantastic freaking job. Yeah,
Oh god, hers
and
top
not
tier.
just good because it's because it's aesthetically pleasing, but also like it's the work really resonates with the both of us.
So and it's interesting
Well,
because she knows how
that's
to
important too, because it's you do want your stuff that you're putting your name to. You do want it to resonate with you.
Yeah, and she. The devil and she shall appear. She's Frankie. Oh my god. But yeah, I do most of the art. I'm still practicing. But there's also some of the stuff I want to be able to do on the fly that's more silly. Kind of like our pickle emote that derived from Morning Darkness's community and then spilled over into
Right.
ours. Which explained to me how I had that emote up for not even a month. And when we went to our recap, it is literally our third most used emote from our community.
You know, it do be like that sometimes.
I was like, this is the most unhinged thing I would expect from our community. But yeah, so I do the art, and I think I've still got some work to do to polish up. But yeah, I think I'm very proud of our Fox and Bull face that I've done so far. We also, like, I put it on merch for the charity event stuff so that
Which,
people can.
by the way, have the cups. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I forgot that y'all got y'all's cups already. I'm like, I've been waiting, and I'm like, I know Shay said something. Now that I remember, and it's like, wait a minute, this whole time I've been waiting. Yeah, so I'm trying to like give back while I'm still developing my skill, and even after I've developed my skill to a point where I'm happy, I still plan on continuing to give people some freebies, to hang on to.
Runrig, I think the Discord noises you are hearing are probably from our guests. But that's fine.
Maybe. Oh no, you might be hearing. You might be hearing foxes. Fox, is your Discord going?
Is my
Do you have it your audio going through? Routed through?
the only thing that should be okay. Let me take a look here.
It's fine.
Broadcast stream X.
I doubt it is. I doubt it's his.
What does it sound like?
If it sounds like airplane rumbling, then it's his.
Okay.
I don't hear
Yeah.
it. I don't hear it. So
I heard the chirp of Discord going off, but like my Discord's in silent mode because obviously I'm streaming right now, so all of my notifications are all turned off.
some people.
And the only other machine that could possibly be doing that is currently turned off right now, so no. But
It might
it's not
be
a
mine.
big deal. see, quick to blame the fox, but
It's usually he was playing with his sound routing, and I just looked over and I forgot. Oh right, I don't have the streamer mode on because we're not streaming. I knew that.
Ooh.
I knew that. I
Yeah,
know.
and I'm not in streamer mode either.
No. See, this is where we want you guys to relax. We don't want you thinking about having a good time. This is as Squirrel put it during our very first one. This is just a gentle talk with Nori.
A gentle talk. She would put it so adorably and politely.
I love
love-
that.
I love Swifty. She is. I'm sorry. In my mind, she could do no wrong. If somebody told me she ran over something by accident, I would. I wouldn't believe you. She even did it by accident. I would believe that somebody framed her. I would believe that somebody framed her. Okay.
I would believe whoever she ran over deserved it.
You have spawned the upset squirrel.
I'm sorry, Swifty, but you are as adorably and sweet as possible. I don't know about that.
All right, then. Fine. Fine, then. You inspire fear. You inspire animalistic lust because you scare everybody, so now everybody's aroused. I don't know where to go with this.
I don't know. Okay, so Renry's got a couple of questions for you.
Okay. Do you own or like cats? And do you own a house or plan to own a house? Oh, perfect. That's two questions. That's one answer for two questions. Yes.
We actually, so originally, yeah, the answer is yes. And also, or I see your question. I can actually explain that in a second, but yes, we have 6 cats and we are a home meowner.
Yeah, which is ironic because the cats own the home. We just, do the upkeep. We
You just
pay
live
rent
in
to
it.
them,
Yeah, we have
if we're
6.
being honest.
Yeah, we're basically owning a house to give the cats place, not for us at this point. Outside of our stream, even our stream setup, when we set up this room, we had to factor in the cats. My
Yeah.
office chair, as comfortable as it is almost a decade old and is slowly on its way out. So it's like, you know what? I need to probably consider a new chair, but I have to be careful about my chair choice because Ajax needs, she's our tabby cat and she's, she's basically my baby because she, my mom found her at 4 weeks, gave her to us, and, I had to spoon feed her early days. So, and she's been my little rug rat ever since. Whereas the other ones, with the exception of the elder cat, that was an emergency situation. But the other cats were purely choice from the shelter. And our house is nothing but nonsense. As a matter of fact, that happens on our stream. The number of times y'all hear I hear on stream, Ajax, not right now. Ajax, what are you doing? Ouch, Ajax. Or we're fussing at one of the other cats because it's nonstop, a complete circus. There is no peace in this household. The fact that it's quiet right now is because it's nap time.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we own a house. It's actually part of our struggles with being streamers is because, so we actually went on a temporary hiatus at one point last year because we had a bathroom leak. And it was so bad. The main bathroom's behind our office, on that wall behind us in our stream. And I had to knock out we had to knock out that whole wall. I did the drywalling and stuff, and we're still working on the bathroom because we're not professional tilers. I can do drywall. I learned to do that after Katrina. And other aspects of my childhood taught me how to do some home renovations. Let me fucking tell you something. Even having those skills, I am done being a homeowner. I am so done. Yeah, 6 cats. Anybody want one?
They're all yours for the low,
Uh,
low price of get them out.
So
I'm just kidding.
Blind
Oh,
Dad
we're kidding?
says, why not? Blind Dad says, where's it at? Which of your cats is your favorite and why is it Sully?
I'd say it's because Sully holds me accountable. She's my guiding light in the darkness. I stare into the void and I see hope. Or sometimes the void stares daggers into me because it wants scritches, but I'm busy. Yeah.
Sully is our black cat. She is. Let me tell you, that is a manipulative ass little cat, but she is.
Fuck.
But she's very clever. Like for a cat, I'm actually
Oh.
impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed. And that is, she stole when we went to the SPCA. We went there for Thor. It was our orange doofus. He was a kitten. We were looking for a kitten at the time, and then we end up. This particular SPCA, when you walk in, there's a glass window, and you could see into the elderly and adult cats. She was in there. I just found the photo actually yesterday of her rolling around by the window, trying to get our attention and pawing at him. Like she just was so focused on him. So we went and visited him, and then when we go out, he was like, "I don't know," and I'm like, "Get her, just get her. It's too late. Get her." I'm like, "You're gonna feel bad if you leave her. Just get her."
Yeah. No, and that was the part that turned the tide right there. Because your ass saying, you're going to feel bad if you don't. I'm like, motherfucker, you didn't want to do it to begin with either. Come on, cut me some slack. But it was also, I also appreciate sometimes, you got the right one when they recognize and acknowledge and accept things in you that you are afraid to accept. So apart from that, that sweet moment, we wound up getting the cat. Oh, look, there she is.
Speaking of awe, to go back to a question earlier from Orfather, why was there pit balls all over our room? So last year we were doing a charity stream, and we told people that if we hit a certain threshold, clip, I think. You know what? That is kind of how the cats reacted. That's ironic.
It's magic.
No. It was one of those community inspired ideas. At first we were hesitant to do balloons in the house because of how the cats would react. And one of our mods, Ava Sophia, one of my best friends, I've known her for over a decade. She feeds into my nonsense. That's part of the reason why we're best friends. And she was like, y'all should fill the room with pit balls, like a ball pit. And I'm like, it's actually not a bad idea. And Fox here was not crazy about the idea. I don't blame him.
Yeah, because I didn't want to pick him up.
But yeah, so now when we had it as a channel redemption, a very high channel redemption, but now we do it for charity events as a threshold. People seem to be very amused by us filling our house or filling our office, our house, because there's still about pit balls rolling around the house thanks to the cats. The main culprit is Ajax of all cats. She is our anxiety-riddled cat, and she's the one who actually loves the pit balls because when we throw them out, pull them out, she rolls around like a ferret. She literally runs around on her belly, skittering across like a ferret. She loves it. The other cats are looking like, what is this devil work? What the shit? So yeah, Orfather, it's community nonsense. Speaking of the devil, hey Ajax, go be horny somewhere else.
Ajax, come on, kid.
I'm playing catch up with chat. My bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine. This is goals with streaming. Are you trying to get big, community, or just letting fate roll the dice? What do you guys
You know what? I not to be silly, but like if we can get a mixture of all of that, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I would like for this stream. I would like for all the work that we had put into this to leave a mark and make a lasting impact on people's lives.
Yeah.
Ultimately, because the amount of work, apart from the glitz and the glamour and the undeniable charm,
of course.
we've struggled too. There's been a lot of struggle, and I have a saying. I always tell people the crowd at the finish line is always bigger than the crowd at the starting line.
Oh,
Mr.
Waggleton.
Hey there.
It's like, what? I'm like, all right, who's eating the crackers and not sharing? Or is that nuts? What is this? This
Mr.
suddenly
Waggleton
turned into
put
an
nuts in his
ASMR stream.
Followed by a scream.
But when you get right down to it,
Uh,
it's really something that when you put that much work into it, of course you want to see it all pan out, and we're nowhere near the finish line, but we're a lot closer than when we started out here, and we're starting to really see that crowd grow, and I am so happy to see it because it really makes a lot of the work that we put into it worth it.
And I wouldn't say there's like a finish line either, but there is. I'm with Fox. It's kind of a mix of all things. Like being a big stream isn't necessarily like even up there per se, but it's on that list, right? That would be great if we could have a massive community. But it's really not the goal. The goal is just to have a solid community that, one, the obvious, like most streamers, yes, we want to be able to assist with paying. I want to be able to assist with paying bills, right? Because that was kind of how it got started. But the biggest thing is like creating networks of mutual aid and doing fundraisers. And obviously having fun. I'm also developing a lot of skills out of this that I'm going to be able to long term, if I can get certain things under control with my health, that I can hopefully turn into a more professional career on the side. This has definitely tested some of Fox's professional knowledge too. So it's, but long term, yeah, we want to be able to just build something big that, we want to be able to create like I said, networks of mutual aid. That's why we have, so in our Discord, we have a couple sections. We have one that's mutual aid, where, people in the community, a lot of people, everybody here is working class, right? So we all understand, and I don't think there's been a single person in our Discord who did not run into a point of struggle, whether it was economic or just physical, whatever it was. And we want people to be able to reach out and share necessary tools and things like that. We have a mental health section where people can share resources, whether it's guidebooks, workbooks, helpful articles, which I got to get off my butt and share mine that I've gotten from my therapy sessions. Then we have a streamer help section where people can ask for help, just like y'all have right here in Nori's Discord. We want to be able to help expand that so that people aren't necessarily having to go through some of the struggles like we went through. Especially early on in streaming, like a lot of the stuff I've had to learn on my own. I've had to either reach out to other people or I had to do a lot of researching, and I'm telling you, a lot. And if I can spare some people the time and headache and the emotional distress that can come with trying to learn on your own rather than an academic setting, I absolutely anything to help with that, because the less time you're spent struggling, the more you can spend thriving, and that's what I'd rather see in the world. And Fox and I, that's part of our mission, is make sure everybody else is thriving to the best of their ability.
There you go.
when we just one last thing to answer about that. I honestly don't know where we'll be in all of this here. Like I said, the longevity is great, but I do know that wherever we wind up, we're not going to be there alone.
Yeah.
And that heartens me in a way that I really can't put into words.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you know, Blonde Dad's talking about we've had a massive impact. We consider all of anybody who's modded in our community, we don't take modding very lightly. There's other people we would mod if we needed mods. But the people who are modded at the time, they are family. We absolutely, in several of our VIPs, they were people we've known for well over a decade. But to see the rest of our community slowly becoming people that we can genuinely make friends with, that we could travel to another city and sit down and have coffee, or they're coming here and having coffee with, and genuinely go, no, I would really like to hang out with this person. This is a friend.
I didn't see that happening, Bull. I didn't see that happening at all.
I didn't either.
Because I was going in with this is entertainment, this is show business mentality. Everybody's out to get theirs. And that's not the case. Refreshingly.
No, it very much that, and that's the interesting part is, right? Is not everybody's out. You do have there are those bad apples in there. But the general mentality is not all about me. It is all about everybody that I'm dealing with, that I talk to every day, that I hang out with, that I get to have fun with. It's like, you know, Wags just showed up. Hi, Wags. We're happy to see Wags. We're happy to see everybody that shows up. And there's a Gladius cat incoming clip.
Oh, I like this one.
Oh, I like you.
Here's the Jessa 55 incoming clip.
Jessa! You choose a way to socialize. Yeah. Oh my God, the shark. I need that costume. Left shark is best shark. You know, there are some, like, so every community there's going to be somebody who's quote unquote toxic. And I'm sure somebody sees us that way. I don't really care.
Welcome.
I'm 32 years old. I don't have time to really stress who thinks we're toxic. I stress about how people actually treat us and our community. But we even, like, if you go on our Discord or in any of our part of our community, y'all know that we can get a bit unhinged. But
a bit.
Have limits. Just a bit.
Okay, look, I've had screen doors after a tornado that are steadier on their hinges than you guys can get sometimes.
That's fair. That's fair. Even Jess was like, a bit.
But Stevie, welcome in.
There is a certain level of respect that we try to have for people. Some people, like, look, I find it red flags when people are like, oh, this is woke. No, it's treating people with equity. It's not about equality. It's about equity. Everybody here is likely in their homes, including us. So I want you to feel like you're at home to the best of my ability. And I want you to feel like when you're in my home that you're at home. Like, literally how we're talking to you is how we would talk to you in our home. You know, obviously you can't go grab some coffee or go raid our fridge, but if you were here.
Now hold on a second. I don't friggin' mercilessly flirt with people who come into our home.
You're a liar.
I resent
you. Do it
look,
consensually.
You know what? I don't know, Foxy. You were putting some serious moves on me when we were visiting.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely apparently it was very moving. Poor father. Wait, you don't? Yeah, sorry. I don't.
Blind dad.
But if your clothes don't stay on when you get here, I mean, that's
on you. Or it's off you.
Ooh, I like that. It's off you.
But I just treating. I'm not here to. I don't like the idea. Like some people go on, onto
Hello,
their
Goose Juice. Welcome in.
they go on to just be overly aggressive and like I don't. The whole concept of like you see in, like FPS games where it's multiplayer, or even well experiences in Warcraft. You get into multiplayer and how aggressive and people think that, oh, it's just the culture and it's just for fun. That's not fun.
Like,
I dealt with that type of behavior as a part of that type of language and treatment in my formative years, and it was not a good time. It did not feel good. I don't want to have to listen to all that, so I put myself and I'm trying to curate a space where other people don't have to deal with that and they can opt out.
and I've always despised that logic, that lazy logic of, oh, that's just a culture.
Heard we.
Yeah. So currently we have a clip playing from the a voice actor. His name is Dak Croto. He's also an author. I actually have a signed book from him. Gentleman's from Australia. Probably the second most buttery voice I've heard when you get him in doing some of his characters that he does. Like he's got a range of voices that he can do. Such a fantastic.
Okay, I know who I'm following.
I already got you, folks. I already got you. I heard that voice and I was like, ooh.
But yeah, what I was saying before about the culture.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna interrupt you just 1 second, Fox, and then I'll let you continue your thought. We have got a ton of new people coming in. I just want to get them caught up. Is that okay?
Oh wow, yeah, we do.
Yes. We have a ton of new people. So for everybody joining, we are doing our Talk Tuesday. Talk Tuesday are where we get together with fantastic streamers out there in the community. We sit down and we ask them all of those invasive questions that you're dying to know the answer for. And hopefully we'll get an answer to. You fantastic people are walking in. Our special guest. Hi, nerd. Gotta see what I mean. Lots of people coming in. Bow and arrow. Playing some Skyrim, it looks like. Going for this sneaky peek headshot.
See nothing.
But our fabulous guest for this evening is the one and only fantastic Fox and Bull. You'll see their socials right there. Drop them a follow. Check in. If you are enjoying anything that you are hearing today, then you are not to be disappointed with much more. Sorry. Anyways, you were saying, Fox?
And the lazy, that's just our culture. Like when it comes to FPSs, that argument, maybe sometimes the culture fucking sucks, and let's not use the tradition excuse is just that, an excuse. I mean, it's not hard. It can be hard to get certain communities to police themselves, but that's why so many people, at least in the Twitch sphere, kind of group themselves into the categories that they do. Because I'm here to tell you, if you go to a stream like, say, that plays Valheim, you kind of know what kind of personalities that you're going to be dealing with, you know. And that was one of the big reasons here. I guess I'm answering a question in advance, why Valheim kind of became one of our bread and butter.
Running. Skill. Fox tells me that all the time. Skill issue. I'm trying to get better about watching chat. I got distracted with berry picking.
You don't have to, but no, that's the thing, right? So you don't have to watch chat. I'm watching chat. I will field the questions over to you.
Daddy. Watch for me, Daddy.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one thing that really drew me to y'all's community, was like how chill y'all were and just silly it was watching. I think it was season 2 or season 1 of Denmark.
I think you showed up in season. Well, no. So I first ran into you guys in season 1.
Thought so. Okay.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
That was-
yeah.
Discovered y'all through
That was
Morning Dark.
back during the so that was back when we were doing modded Valheim, and that was Morning Darkness had joined in, and I think that's when you guys started joining in on some, well, watching some of the antics is during season 1. That's where the infamous basement scene comes from. Every time we have this running joke about squirrel in their basements, and
Yes.
Mhm.
And I loved it because like there was also too I remember when y'all gave us the tour, like that was just so delightful, and how people were just so friendly. Like it was just such a breath of fresh air, and I was just like, I think we found our community.
Mhm.
And out of the entire Valheim community, we've only dealt with unlike in other communities, we have dealt with literally for every, I think we've run into 2 people who were truly toxic. The rest of the community, like, sure, you're not always going to click with people,
oh,
but, wait, what is that?
Yeah.
that is
Like
the
what?
follow alert.
Oh, nice. It's a wild
Yeah.
lightning hound.
It is a wild lightning hound. Yeah, I finally got to a point where, so I had been using sound alerts for a number of my redeems, and I have gotten to a point now where I can cut sound alerts completely out because everything is being run locally.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Through Firebot, actually. So, like, all of my redeems, I don't have anything now that is from sound alerts. There's a couple channel point redeems you can still hit for that. And I'll leave those in place for a little bit longer, but I think ultimately those are also going to get cut.
Okay. That's
Mostly
I mean,
because so what I have found is I like the responsiveness of having all of my files, sound files, video files, everything else local.
yeah.
Mm.
It all just runs cleaner. It runs so much smoother. The only thing that we go out to the web for are the clips that you see. And I'm gonna shamelessly plug here, and I'm sorry, guys.
Do it.
Go ahead.
Plug
but,
away.
While I use Firebot to help with all the shout outs and everything else, and thank you for joining Goose and Nerd. Lovely to have you guys. Welcome to the network. While I use Firebot, I have found that Firebot has some extreme limitations for the complexity that I'm trying to get my Firebot to do. For all of the different things that it does, Firebot is actually built on top of your Windows Edge. It's built on a default web browser that your operating system uses. And it's not your default browser that you select. So if you select like Chrome as your default browser, it doesn't use that. It actually uses, so the calls that Firebot makes are to the default Windows browser. So it will always go to Edge.
So you have to go into Fire. So you have to make the change with Firebot
can't.
itself,
Yeah, well, you have to
not
reprogram
just in
Firebot.
Windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You would have to reprogram Firebot in order to do that. So the problem with this is that all of Firebot's behavior sets are written in JavaScript and Node.js on top of this Windows Edge. So when you start getting really complicated with your redeems, with your like, if somebody does exclamation this command or that command, or this sort of thing happens, I want it to do X, Y, and Z, and you start staging all of these different effects to go off, Firebot loses its mind. And it loses its mind because the underlying web browser and the fact that the whole thing's built on scripting language just loses its mind. So I am currently in process of rewriting a new... Exactly. I am currently in process of rewriting a tertiary, a sidecar to your Stream Deck. So like Firebot, it's a replacement for Firebot and mix it up. In fact, when I get done with it, we'll have direct imports. So if you wanted to convert from Mix It Up or Firebot, because you're using one of these, and anybody who's been doing streaming, who's been trying to I want to migrate from this to that, knows it's a painful process because it's not a one button click. You have to make certain that So the thing that I'm building actually will have that one button click, because both Firebot and Mixitup are built on an open source platform. I can go read the underlying code, which means I can get a hold of their configuration parameters. And so I'm in the process of writing an importer in mind that will take Firebot and mix it up and be able to incorporate it straight into the software. So you'll install it and then you'll say import from, and then all your stuff is there.
It's gonna be so nice.
And it looks like Orfather is saying what everybody's thinking here. I love
Exactly.
to see it.
Speaking to the universe, what we're thinking, because yeah, I tried StreamerBot, but the overlay I do not like. I hate it with a passion. And then Mixitup, like I chose Mixitup because there's a few more tools than RaidBot, but RaidBot is still. I do love the overlay of RaidBot, but I can absolutely see the limitations, especially with the things you do with your stuff. I could absolutely see the limitations. It's still a good bot, but when you hit that limit, you hit that limit.
That's the thing that I've noticed is a lot of these are built on top. So a lot of these are written to be really quick, and a lot of them are built on top of scripting languages. They're built on top of things like JavaScript, Node.js. They use the built-in browser in the operating system. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a really good, viable process because you don't have to have different compiled pieces of code to run on different operating systems. So that's why Firebot Mixitup can go, hey, I can run on Mac, I can run on Windows, I can run wherever you want. It's fine because everywhere's got a browser. Everywhere can run Java and Node.js and do all that under the covers. And so there is definitely a viability of ease of use for that as far as getting it into more people's hands. There's also that same deficiency of too much and the thing falls apart.
And you know what? There's a similar issue with sound I discovered when we were trying to work on our mic issues, which anybody who is trying to do a co-op streaming, like dual streaming with somebody in the same room and you need some help, like we're happy to help guide along, because let me tell you something. That is a unique beast to, as opposed to having only one streamer on, especially audio side. And one of our community members and one of my longtime friends, he's an audio engineer, did it for years. And then Blind Dad also did, he did radio for the longest time. So between picking their brains, we discovered, you know, a lot of what they're trying to do with a lot of these audio interfaces is to simplify things so the average streamer can do what they need to do, but it's creating new problems because certain things have to be the way they are in the audio world in terms of settings, to split certain settings. And then when you're trying to compile them, you create new problems. And it's like, yeah, I see the same thing happening with the bots. It's like you did this, but then you created this as a result. And yeah, when you told us that you were doing the bot, I was very excited because I'm like, oh, maybe we won't have some of these problems.
Well, yeah. So the bot I'm building, the plan for the bot, anyways, is to use a fully compiled binary. So it'd be a fully compiled piece of software. It's not going to be open source and license available because there's going to be a number of unique features, and I've got a laundry list of things that I want to add to it because I'm a streamer. I stream just the same as everybody else. So I have a list of, ooh, I would like it to do this. I would like it to do that. Oh, it would be great if I could interact with my people this way or that way. So I have an entire assortment of things that I want it to do all the things.
I wanted to set off all of the alerts.
Yeah, hard to believe. I know, right, Blind Dad? I still struggle to believe. Yeah, no. I'm that aside, but yes. So that's kind of the directionality that piece of software is currently. I actually have it. I am almost ready to release. So I've got a couple beta testers on the line. I'm almost ready to get it into their hands so they can start playing around with it, which is good.
I'm so excited for you.
Sort. Oh, okay. So I'm
What did
reading
you
through
do?
chat here and I'm thinking out loud.
Thinking out loud. Okay, I know that was cheesy. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
You're fine.
You're on thin ice.
Actually, no, because hell hasn't frozen over yet.
Wait, what? Well, now you're in deep shit. So
That's
how
why
that
it's
I'll
was.
break the
here.
bot for you. Right.
See how that.
But but the right, so the bot's not actually written on a browser source, right? So it's taking advantage of the fact that you're using a piece of software like OBS or something to that effect. So the plans here is that we're actually going to instantiate a real web server on your computer. So OBS uses for their overlay stuff. Uses a web overlay. So technically OBS is already using a browser. So we're talking about a browser on top of a browser, which is horrendous. No, Runrig,
No.
we can instantiate a process on your computer, a binary process that will behave as if it was a real web server. So now you're talking about a browser that will talk. No, I'm going above that. We're going to be using, I'm actually writing it in Golang. It's the programming language I've been using for the last 10, 12 years now. But it's, it supports cross compilation. So I will be able to compile it in Mac and in Linux and in Windows and be able to support all the various operating systems out there. So we don't lose any of the functionality that we currently get with Firebot and Mix It Up. It's just, going to be better. And about a third of the memory footprint on your computer.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. That definitely could. All right. That's a plus. There's a lot of pros here.
So, yeah. So, yeah, just 8-bit microprocessors. But yeah, so that's the shameless plug. That's the thing that I have been working hard on, because I honestly think that it's a viable thing. It's not just it's a for me project, yes, because it will be fun for me. But I think everybody can benefit from that. So that's kind of the plan here. Is to make it something that everybody can get their hands on in. Hey, you. Okay, Runrig, not a whole lot of people are actually going to understand what you're talking about. I just want you to know.
I mean, we understand it, and that's all that really
I
matters.
don't actually, but that's okay.
I'm sorry,
I understand
honey.
the context, right? Like I understand the context, but I don't actually. That's okay. Yeah, you guys can keep your little inside jokes.
Of course, I'm not gonna lie though. Virtual computing and virtualization is still a weak point for me. I actually struggled with that in school.
Really? Oh,
But I
dude.
passed, so because I kind of low key hate it.
Honestly, Vox, anytime you want, give me a holler. We'll sit down. I can show you the easiest way through virtualization. And once you walk your way through it, you're gonna be like, really? That's literally it? And I'm like, yep, that's literally it. And
Because-
you'll never have another issue with it.
Because lately I've been tinkering around with Oracle VirtualBox.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And that was kind of like not my favorite. And you can almost tell where my professional background is in when I tell you that most of my work is when it comes to especially cloud computing has been with Azure. Honestly,
Yeah.
a lot of people hear that and are like, oh, okay, so you're a government employee?
No. I don't attribute Azure to government. Yeah, absolutely not. Anybody who plays video games is dealing with Azure Cloud right now. Because let's face facts, if you have an Xbox and you play any Microsoft games, including Minecraft on any of the realms and whatnot, you're in Azure. So, no.
Oh.
Well, so all right, so then all right, so that answers the other thing. So you know who I get the flack from?
Yeah.
Fucking Linux fanboys.
Hey. Whoa. First off, I happen to enjoy my Linux operating system. I just don't give Windows users. He's like, oh crap. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. We can still be friends, Fox.
Crap to it. I just don't enjoy it. Like, hey, you know what? Bull loves shrimp. I can't stand the stuff. It's okay. I just don't eat shrimp.
Exactly.
Sweet shrimp. Give me my shrimp. Anyway, sorry. Daydreaming.
All good. We definitely went off on a really heavy geek technical tangent there. But we'll bring it we'll bring it back in line.
Shrimps.
All right, so but yeah, so that's been like the biggest project I've been currently working on. Okay, that's a lie. That's not the biggest project I've been working on. Never knew we needed. Yeah, exactly. So, Bull, would you like to be sampled for or be a part of the creation of a remix version of a piece of music that makes fun of somebody or has a good time?
Yes. This is nonsense.
Hells
Yeah. Yeah, this is nonsense. I'm here for the nonsense. Hells yes.
I say that because I currently need a one more piece so that I can finish wrapping up Chicken Attack for Dawn.
Ooh.
Oh, nonsense where we get to torment Dawn? I'm you know what? Hands down, do it any day of the week. Absolutely. There is no doubt about it. That woman is gonna get tired of me one day, and she is gonna give me the yeet one day. But that day is not today.
I fully expect to get banned from her channel when I drop that lovely little ditty out there.
Bull and the harem. What's this about?
Does Bull have a harem? Do we need to find out more about this secret harem of Bull's?
I'm pretty sure she does. Bull's kind of a chick magnet.
Wait, what's a harem?
Wait, how do I explain this?
Bull, a harem is a collection of females that go gaga for you.
It doesn't necessarily have to be women. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a collection of people that go gaga for you. How about that?
Yeah.
What's a
Yeah.
dud dream?
Necro, you know what? I'm only saying this because I'm feeling good about myself right now. Okay. But yeah, it's the dream. I'm living the dream. Listen, I've had some people. All I'm going to say is I did not expect this, and maybe it's because I have a more mass presentation. I've been fortunate to not get the DMs that my more femme presenting compatriots have received. I don't really get the dick solicitation anymore. Thank fuck. Excuse my language on that, but thank fuck. However, I do get some wild DMs, especially from femmes. And let me tell you, I'm not complaining because they're going to get those DMs right back. Look, I swear. Look, if you want
Bro,
an example
there is nothing virgin about those ears of yours. No.
I don't think there is a single virgin ear in this chat. Time to send a wild DM. Careful, because you don't know what you're about to start. Katya's always look. Katya is one of my long-term friends. She's one of my best friends, and that's That's why she's saying that, because she's gonna start sending me some wild stuff, and it's probably gonna be food related, or it's gonna be it's gonna be animal related.
If you're
Y'all think it's gonna be
lucky-
dirty, and it's not. She's actually wholesome as shit.
If you're lucky, it will be, because how do you know that Kache's not going to call your bluff? Not
She
call
might.
your bluff, but yeah.
She might also send me so one thing I'm known for also is when I was doing a lot of my canvas work is, especially my glitter art, was dicks. I did a lot of dick art. Matter of fact, one of our long-term friends and our viewers, Thug Muffins, he has a canvas of mine with a pink penis. It is a bright fluorescent pink penis spewing a rainbow. So
Okay,
that's
I'm just going to say this. Around my family, glitter is known as the herpes of the craft world.
oh,
You have
no,
just
it
admitted
truly
to
is.
creating a herpes-filled penis
yes, I did.
picture.
Yes, I did. Absolutely, and I'm proud of it. The woman, look, the woman who got me into craft art. If you want,
you
I'm
right,
gonna
Jail, I
plug-
did. But it doesn't. It still doesn't change the fact that that is not exactly what it is.
Ajax, you horny little shit. What do you do? Go. Okay, while she's got sitting right here, speaking of penises and horny and stuff, let me give y'all a quick story.
Story time.
Story time. I was working for a glitter company called Mr. Nola's Glitter. It's a local company started by some friends of ours. Very wonderful people, by the way. You're looking to get glitter shipped to you. That's the people to go to, and they literally have glitter penises. They call them Mr. Binkies. It's named after a local sex shop. While I was working for her, she knew about my fascination of laughing and making about dick art and stuff. She got these tiny little rubber penises. They call them ding dings. And you can get them on Amazon. You can get a bag of them on Amazon. First off, when we moved into this house, my cousins got a hold of them and stuck them to our ceiling. I left that thing up there for like a month. And then when it fell, I rolled it in glitter and stuck it on our mantle above our fireplace. So now I have a herpes covered penis over my fireplace.
Crafting herpes, just for any latecomers to the chat.
Which, no shame on anybody who does have herpes. Just get yourself
No.
treated.
There's
Just gotta
treatment
plug
for
that
it.
in
It's
there. I
fine.
don't want anybody to feel shamed.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we really don't want that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Ajax, go be horny somewhere else. Speaking
Well,
of horny,
Mama, that leg is looking so juicy.
is that right? The way she's acting, probably. That is probably how she's looking. Like, one second she wants me to pat her, and the next second she's like, no, just scratching my butt because I'm horny.
Yeah, this cat kind of neat. So Ajax has been spayed twice, and you're probably wondering how that works. So, the
I'm
first
not wondering
time-
at all how that works. That just sounds like a really bad bet.
yeah, they botched the job the first time, and
Okay, it wasn't really a botch. It was kind of a so okay. Ideally, when cats get spayed, yes, you can spay them once they hit 2 pounds, but it's much like dogs. It's actually better for their long-term growth if you wait till a certain period. For cats, it's much earlier than dogs. For dogs, I think it's like 2 years or something, but for cats, it's like 6 months. So they're like, hey, our first vet was like, hey, you found her on the side of the road. Y'all are keeping her. Just wait till she's, hit 6 months. That's the ideal age. We did that, and she already hit her first heat. Well,
Yep.
she went into the vet still in her reproductive organs were still inflamed from the heat, because she was literally like a day or two out, coming out of her heat. So when they went in, they pulled all her organs out, and fast forward, she had gone through 2 heat cycles, and the vet didn't understand why. The vet at the time and at first they didn't believe us. until I recorded multiple instances and also showed pictures, which, by the way, I thoroughly clean. But she does spray some from time to time. I thoroughly clean. I swear, y'all. I promise I clean. I'm not one of those you walk in the house and it smells like cat urine in the house owners. Katjay, ironically enough, we went to go get her spayed when we went to go first ask about getting her spayed. Yeah, that's another story. We originally thought Ajax was a little boy. Yeah, that's a whole story. The story is the first vet when my mom found her on the side of the road, they were like, oh, her vulva was so swollen, they thought it was testicles. Keep in mind, she was 4 weeks old. And then later on, so we were like, oh, Ajax, he. Later on, the vet was like, no, this is a she. She's got a vajango, and that's a Rutherford.
That's the Rutherford.
Brother daddy. Brother daddy murdering shit. This is sounds
Hey,
like.
brother.
Fast forward, we go to another vet. We go through like 3 or 4 veterinarians before we finally find a vet over here, and they were like, we've got an idea what's wrong with her, but you know, she is in heat and this doesn't make sense. The veterinarian that was able to actually pinpoint what was going on, he has been a veterinarian for over 20 years, and he's like, I've only ever seen one other instance of this. So if you're familiar with how they remove cat reproductive organs, is they find the uterus, and because the ovaries are so small, they have to find the uterus and then follow the fallopian tubes to the ovaries.
Mhm.
And it's not that they can't see with the naked eye, it's just that it's hard to find. And
It's
that all messes
hard.
with organs.
But it's that good hard, you know?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, Ajax has been a trip. So
hell.
then we had to keep in mind, we're in New Orleans. We had to drive all the way to fucking Baton Rouge with this cat because the only place in the state of Louisiana that has the appropriate scanner to figure out what was going on is at LSU, at their main campus in Baton Rouge. So we had to go all the way over there, and we're talking like, there's the stadium, there's Mike the Tiger, fucking LSU, not the little clinics here in New Orleans. Drive almost 2 hours with traffic with this damn cat. 5 minute, well, it was actually like 15 minutes. Which their team, by the way, anybody who ever has to go there with their pets, their team was phenomenal. They were very kind. They explained everything in great detail. They were very good with Ajax. So they had to use the big cat scanner to be able to break down and really get in and to see more clearly. She still had remaining ovarian tissue that is not visible to the naked eye. And what happens is when that happens, it's rare, but when it happens, it usually happens because the cat was spayed near their heat cycle. And if a little bit of ovarian tissue is left over and hormone estrogen gets to it, it can cause them to go into basically a pseudo heat. And I say pseudo heat because they're not able to reproduce. So, we put her in surgery for that again. And so she was technically still having reproductive organ tissue removed. So that's why we joke and tell everybody she's been spayed twice, and she technically should go through the surgery again, but she so rarely goes through this heat cycle. The trauma of putting her through it is just also that. And our vet said, we're not doing it this time. You have to bring her to LSU, and that's like $5,000. So
Yeah.
I'm not spending $5,000 to traumatize my cat. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm just-
that's
Yeah, I mean, mission
complete
accomplished.
tangent. Gravity Black Trooper works fast. Oh, excellent. I look forward to that, my friend. Sorry.
I mean, mission accomplished in terms of her not being able to have kittens.
yeah.
So,
yes.
I know it was a bit of a long story, but like that was a chaotic experience. She has been a problem cat. All the other cats have been straightforward on their issues. Like Frank, he's got a distress disorder with his intestines, and that causes him when he gets anxiety. His anxiety flares up. Okay, he gets a UTI. Easy fix. He gets allergies. Sienna has she has diabetes. Okay, easy like concept things that you figure out at your vet. Ajax, she requires us to go to a fucking specialist university in order to get treated. Right, Rutherford? Nah, I'm not traumatizing
Yeah.
my cat for 5K.
Yeah. Hell no. It's all good. It's all good.
No.
All right. Well, we are coming up on the end of our time here. So final questions from anybody, and I am going to let you, Fox and Bull, get out any last commentaries, questions, things that you want to talk about. Got about 10 more minutes left.
Well, I've got
Yeah,
one.
it's so much
Fox-
fun. It's one of like, you know, like, oh, it's just I'm having so much fun, and then like somebody's like, nope, sorry, it's got to end. No.
We always have fun with you in your community, and I'm not just saying
it's a
that to
good
blow smoke
time.
and grass. Like, it's always a good time. We always feel at home, and like that's why we've always creeped around. I know we don't. That's one thing I hate is that we only have so much time in the day, and we can only stay awake for so long because it's like I spend so much time trying to hang out with so many people because I've met so many wonderful people, and it's just like on streaming in the Valheim community, and it's like we love and adore your community. You have a wonderful, and we love and adore you and Shay. Y'all are such wonderful people.
Oh,
and y'all
we
treated
have
us
such a
so
good
well.
time when we come over and visit with you guys too. So it's
We
good
like
fun.
playing
It's good
with
fun.
you.
Oh yes.
Rutherford, I hope you feel better.
Behave.
And I hope you feel better that way too.
I can't even spell behave.
All right. Anyways, you were saying, well, before I rudely interrupted you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But other than just being grateful for you guys, we do want to talk briefly. We are continuing our charity stream this week, with a streamathon for Extra Life for Kids. Because our community was so kind. We do not actually, because there was already a lot raised, we don't expect anybody to pitch in more. Like, this is, at this point, it's mostly for fun, but there's going to be potentially Fox in a maid outfit. Extra Kids for Life. Did I say it wrong? Extra Life for Kids? Is that what I said? I don't know. Look.
Wait. You said Fox in a maid outfit?
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That music is perfect.
Yeah, so Fox and the money the money we raised so far, we raised about $2,000, and yeah, we're not necessarily looking. I mean, we want to raise more money, but we're not really expecting, after our community's already pitched up so much and it's so close to the holidays. It's mostly for fun, but it's a streamathon. All of our subs, all of our bits, which, by the way, Twitch just released, I think it was today, that for every over 300 bits, the streamer gets an additional 10%. There's going to be discounts on gifted subs. So, like, good time to, do that. All of our subs, all the merch on our store, all the profits for that is going to this charity. So, like, we are trying to shove all the money to these kids. Fox and I have a history of, like, even before streaming, we went to a local school and had a blast. Like, we went in with the budget of like 100, 150. Now we ended up blowing like $300 on stuff for kids. It was that's why we love doing stuff for kids during the holidays. So this is what we're doing. There will be more pies to the face. They will whatever other nonsense we can insert. I'm still working on the incentives to add, because we did some giveaways and whatnot, and every $1,000 we hit, our stream team leader for the Fluffy Legion, Crypto Wrench, is going to pitch in an additional $200. So,
Nice.
it's not going to be just y'all pitching in. So that's the only thing I really want to talk about was more insert and more pluggings.
Plug away. That's kind of the purpose behind Talk Tuesdays, right? Is to give a chance for everybody to get to meet the fantastic people out there in the streamer community and talk to them when So you know as well as I do when you're streaming, like you're trying to pay attention to the game, you're trying to pay attention to what chat's doing, you're trying to read every message that's coming through, and you don't always get a chance to just take time out, take 5 minutes, and then like really talk about the things that you want, unless you do something like I'm going to have to ignore everybody. So this has been my solution to this. Is there are people like yourselves. We had Paul Zarides in here last week. We had Swirl before that. It's fun to sit down and just be able to ask the questions like, okay, how did you get here? What are you doing? What are your plans? How are you moving forward? What are the things that drive you as an individual, as a streamer, that, you know, you don't, maybe you might talk about, but you're only going to spend like let me give you the quick down and dirty. Here's a little bit more time, because you don't want to dedicate all that time to one person, one question.
Yeah.
Because then,
Oh God, no, yeah.
You know, it just doesn't seem right. So this is kind of the format of this. This is the whole feature. So I tell you, like I tell everybody else, if you know a streamer, whether they're small, getting started, or have been doing it for years, that would be a good fit for this format, would be something that they would be interested in doing, by all means, send me a DM, and we'll get them in here. Now this is for
Not right,
chat.
that's
This is
fine
for
with
you
DMs.
guys. That's right. Come drop in my DMs. Is all right. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, I was in your wife's DMs
Open
the other day.
invitation.
But that's the whole purpose of this is to bring so people can sit around and get to know the people we spend a lot of time watching and hanging with. You know I got to work it in there somehow. Squirrel has been giving me a hard time about that drop ever since the PFC commercial, and my only contribution to that is the very end of that, where it's like, now treat me like a pirate and give me that booty. Yeah, Squirrel calls it the booty boy. But no, this is our Talk Tuesday, and I would like big, huge shouts and thank you. So we're gonna do a couple things, right? So before we drop out of here, one thing we don't typically do a whole lot is the traditional Twitch shoutouts, mostly because I hate the fact that they put them on a timeout, but we're going to put this out here. If you have not been following or already following, the little heart that just appeared up in that chat, because we're going to do the Twitch shout out just because it makes it easy. Click the heart. Seriously. I can't stress that enough. That should be lit up. You're doing it wrong if it's not. If you click it and it unlights, then you've done it wrong too. Make certain that's hit. Make certain that's clicked, because I'm telling you, these fantastic people are worth the time. They are worth the effort to go sit by and watch and see them and hang out and chat with them. Fantastic and amazing people. And because it's because it's my stream, I can do a Make My Day Classic Edition in the middle of the stream, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Follow easily dropped and much appreciated too.
But now, that being said, thank you, fabulous folks. We will be wrapping it up here. But I appreciate the time that you and Bull, Fox and Bull, I appreciate your guys' time today. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Appreciate
love to
you
have you
having
guys
us.
back another time. Oh, I would love to have you come back. I'm hoping that these things continue to happen, and we bring more people in. We raise visibility to more people who everybody wants to see and ask these questions to. And maybe even have repeats if it happens. That would be fantastic. Next week on our Talk Tuesday, we have a Wars HQ, so we're going to have somebody from Australia in here chatting with us. So that's going to be fun.
Sweet.
Most people
Ooh.
knows Wars from my Friday streams where we do collab on Elden Ring with her. But she has agreed, since she's currently on vacation and we can get her in here, she has agreed to come and hang out with us. So next week, Talk Tuesday, Wars HQ. You don't want to miss out on any of that. But yeah, I am going to be, I still have, I think after that, we won't do another Talk Tuesday until January 2nd, the first of the year, because Christmas and the holidays and everything else coming up. But first Talk Tuesday of next year, already on the books, we are going to be talking with the Magic Man himself, the Mystical Wizard, who you can see on Saturdays playing with Squirrel, currently right now in the Roguelike Adventures. It is, that's right, Mr. Zodicus. So that's going to be a fun one too. So, like,
Some good people lined up.
Yeah.
We've got some lined up, folks. It's going to be fantastic. You don't want to miss any of it. It's going to be a good time no matter what. And if at any point in time, and this goes to you, Fox, as well, any of my previous guests, if you want to come back and be a part of the interview process, absolutely. Love to have you.
I mean, do you really want Mustang all up in? I'm just kidding.
You want to get up here and get funky with me? Come on, get up here and get funky. You can bring the harem with you. It's all right. I won't mind.
We're gonna get. It's been delightful, though. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you having us. I really
This
do.
has been absolutely fantastic. Now, anywhere you two want to take this lovely crowd of rapscallions and raid out to?
Oh,
You make a good
wow.
point.
Okay.
Or- that would be pretty dope. Let's see here. Who we got? Who we got?
I always ask the guests, who do you want to raid on the way out? If you don't have anybody in particular, then I can go raid somebody else. But if you have somebody you really want to send this crowd of rebels over to, now we introduce
Yes.
ourselves to a new friend.
Daniel Preston MC. Him?
Yeah, Daniel, he's
Yeah.
just coming back to streaming, and if there's any delightful faces, that is a delightful face right there.
And
Daniel
plus
Preston
video-
MC. It looks like he's doing a just chatting stream right now.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah,
Oh.
he's probably doing his intro right now.
Mm-hmm.
Aha. Okay. Well, sounds like a place we're going to go hit then. I am going to I'm going to deafen at this point because I am going to go do the exit and everything. Thank you, Fox and Bull.
Thank you
You've been
so
a
much.
marvelous
Really
guest. This has
appreciate
been
y'all.
such a pleasant evening, and I appreciate you guys for this.
Before you mute, in the words of Fox,
Be good to each other.
Fantastic. All right. So here comes the end screen, but don't go anywhere. Because even though we're taking off for our Talk Tuesday, this has been a fantastic evening. Thank you very much, Fox and Bull, our special guest for this evening. Look forward to our next Talk Tuesday with Wars HQ. Going to be live from Australia. This is going to be a good time. We will be sipping on soda. She will probably be sipping on coffee. It's going to be her morning, our evening, but it's still going to be a good time. And as always, keep coming back. So I know Shayla is out till Friday, but we will have our Thursday Black Rock, Deep Rock Galactic over on Zodicus channel. Have some more mining and drilling action, all that kind of fun stuff. Definitely look out for Fox and Bull next time they go live. You don't want to miss a moment of that. And as far as all of you rest of you fantastic and wonderful people that are here in this chat tonight, each one of you are amazing people. Each and every last one of you, thank you. It has been fantastic. I enjoy having you here. Next stream for us, however, when we go live on this channel, won't be till Saturday, where we will be, in fact, in Atlanta, Georgia at DreamHack. We will be hanging out and chilling with the Regime Girls and all of the fabulous people over at DreamHack. And you may actually see a face reveal that day. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed. But per our guest request, we are going to go raid out to Daniel Preston MC. So this is going to be fun. Should be interesting. Make sure to shout. hang around, see what the guy's all about. You might enjoy exactly what you see. And as always, the first message is for all you lovely, lovely subscribers, and the second message is for all you lovely, lovely followers. This is where we're going to go say hi to. This is where we're going to head out to. Oh, gonna be a good time. Gonna be a good time. I already know it. But until next time, continue to be the fantastic, fabulous, and amazing people I already know you are. And until next time, bye for now.